Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. This is going to be my commentary and frame-by-frame analysis with the Marurin's Express Mail Epilogue Update Preview. I'll also call this the 2023 Update Preview. So generally every year we get the kind of like the teasers on the new MLs, the new characters, some of the new skins, summer characters and whatnot. And this year it's been a bit delayed. And so we've had this sense of like kind of like staleness and all that stuff, but realistically it's not that we want more like exactly things to do in the game, but we want to see like a tangible roadmap, and this is usually the roadmap, right? So outside of quality of life changes, what they have delivered in those Marurin cartoon shorts, events, new quality of life updates, this part is usually the one that gets me the most excited. There's something about Epic 7's like anime style art, their process, their progress usually gets people like pretty hyped, right? Because then now you're like looking forward to a character you're interested in or something like that, so it carries through the months better than something like what they've done in the past like 5 months, which is like nothing for us to chew on except just like a brand new character, and sometimes it's really last minute, they don't release a video or stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm very excited for this, I have to say. It is coming late, but you know, I'll take it because it's here now. So first things first, they introduced like a new kind of like a storyboard like render of this, the new, they call it like the new tutorial screen. So I think it's just basically the tutorials that we had. I don't know if they're gonna replace any of the animation because those were still pretty good, but it seems that they want to make it a bit more robust. So going back kind of like to square one, we can see some of the scenes there, like where Ross is fighting those like monsters, and then the conversation here is talking about they call it Dishe, the goddess, and like this basically the lore of Epic 7, right? So what I think about that is like it's kind of cool, right? You're like enhancing it. It's like, is this hopefully like this is like the start to the Epic 7 anime, right? They were talking about it in a Q&A I think last year or 2 years ago, saying that it might be something they'll look into. I know they want to expand the IP, make it like very tangible, and so it's like for the game itself it's not super important, right? Because like Epic 7's whole like game design right now is like try to funnel players in quick, and the holding point is all about like the gear, the characters. And I know a lot of you guys, if you guys are watching this, some of you guys really read the stories, and you guys are constantly telling me, Jackie, you gotta read the story, it's actually really good. The thing is, I hear that about every gacha game, and I think stories, I mean, while I can believe Epic 7's is good, I really did enjoy the DN side story. I read through that entire thing for sure. It's, in my opinion, it's gotta be like a bit more than that. So anyways, from my perspective, that intro thing to kind of spice up the beginning of the game is an interesting pivot, right? It's something that you don't expect in Epic 7, who's been out for like 4 going on 5 years. So hopefully it's a lead up to strengthening the IP so that an anime could happen, right? But that's a bit too much speculation, right? It's not even the fact that I watch anime, it's just more of the fact that like if Epic 7 expands into different areas of like what we'll call stronger IPs, then it's really good for Epic 7's health in general, right? For the years to come. So anyways, so they just previewed a bit of that with I think it's Dishe or someone is actually doing the voiceover for it, to make it like, instead of you just reading the intro, there's like a narrative to it. Some gacha games already do this, so it's not too surprising that Epic 7 wanted to do too. I know that my screen is a bit cropped off, but it's just for the sake of this analysis video. This is the best way I could do it. They're just basically changing some summon effect improvements, and looks like on the splash screen you don't just look at the static art, or not the static art, the dynamic art that you see in the gear screen, but you get to see some of the S3 animations. I wonder if this is going to be loopable, like is it looping over and over, which is going to get annoying, or does it like go back to that screen where we will see like Bologna holding her fan, you guys know what I'm talking about, the character screen, and then like over like, you know, over X amount of seconds then goes to the S3 animation. That's probably how I would approach it. from a game development perspective. If it's loopable over and over and there's sounds like voiceover over and over, it might get too busy and too repetitive. But anyways, this is also kind of interesting. The summon effect improvements. This is something that I've always felt Epic 7 lacked compared to a lot of other gacha games. I feel like Epic 7's summon experience isn't as like, there's no like pop factor, right? Outside of me saying that it's a purple shiny, it's an ML. For those who watch my videos, you guys know what I'm talking about. Outside of those like sparks, the animation, while very nice, like the book opening, all that, the transition is very nice. It just like, it feels like there's like a less of a reveal. So this one's kind of interesting, where you see Biblica and Biblio come in and they touch the book and the book opens, and this splash seems to be like, it's gonna be more direct, and maybe it's gonna be a bit more hidden too. Like, I don't know if, so for those of you who don't know, I actually, the last day I was streaming, someone actually asked me, I thought everyone knew this already. It was like, oh, how did you know it was a 5-star artifact before it was a hero? And you could see there's like a character silhouette on the page there, and that's currently how it is. Like, if you see like this kind of like orb thingy, it's gonna be an artifact. If you see like a character on the page before it, you know, before it shines, when it shines, you know that it's an ML, or sorry, not an ML, a 5-star or a character basically. All right, so basically a character versus an artifact. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing that here, maybe. But they don't need to, in my opinion, because like it could keep the suspense. But here in the draft, at least, you can see like the left page is a character. At least it has a head and shoulders, assuming that's a character. Maybe that's like a temple or something, I don't know. But if they are keeping to the same thing, I'm okay with it. But the animation does look pretty good. Like, it just basically explodes, and I'm assuming, like, let's say a 10-time summon is gonna be a bit, it's gonna start with this, and then once the explosion settles, it's gonna go to the hold on, I don't think this is the summon. This is a transition to something else. But basically, the white flash from the book opening into the characters, either a single or a 10-time summon. I think it's gonna be better, but we'll have to see. But I'm assuming if they're gonna invest this much time into it, it probably is better. Now, this has something kind of odd to me, how this shot was in between the summon. No, I don't think this has anything to do with summon. If you could recognize that statue, that's the statue found in Ancient Inheritance. I don't know if that means like maybe a new Ancient Inheritance map. Like, so, like currently, I don't know, maybe this is gonna be in like a Citadel kind of thing. And then it flashes to this, which is like kind of random as well, because like, I don't know. And then, yeah, and then it goes to this. So I'm kind of curious, like, what does this transition mean, right? Like, I'm just trying to make sense of this. Like, there's a clear, like, deliberate use of the statue in Ancient Inheritance here. And then it goes to, and it transitions. Like, I know that it doesn't have to be the same context. And for this transition, it transitions into, like, the new characters, which, so this is what everyone's been saying to me, right? People who read the story, is that ML Rowana and ML Corinne is coming up next. So now this seems to be ML Rowana. Did I say Corona? ML Rowana. Basically the staff, and also, I mean, I wouldn't want to say this, but I would say, I'll say it, but the bust size. Also, the hairstyle is kind of similar. All we have different is realistically the hair color, and then she even has the angel wings, right? So this is, I think, 100% ML Rowana. If I'm mistaken, 99% ML Rowana. But based on what everyone's saying from the ML theater, that we do have the conversation in the dialogue that ML Rowana is coming, and then also ML Corinne, the light elemental one, is coming. So let's see what she, I mean, she looks a lot more evil, and she probably is a dark elemental, I'm just gonna assume, but you know, maybe I'll be wrong about that too. Usually light elemental heroes end up with some kind of like white colored hair, or light or blonde. This is generally the case. It's not always the case, but I mean, even with the ML Leica that was just released, I think she has white hair. But this is something that I've noticed overall. But seeming that sometimes they swap both light and dark, there's a high probability that Rowana is going to be a dark elemental ML. And most likely the next ML5. So the next the next official Mystic banner is going to feature this character for sure. Others have told me, again reading the story, that this is most likely ML Corinne. Alright, so we already have BBK, Bloodblade Corinne, and then now we're going to have like this cyberpunk-ish light elemental Corinne. Hopefully she's not super good, so I don't have to use Mystics into the 4-star banner. I've tried doing that with Bunny Dom and kind of regretted, but because I think ML Rowana is probably going to be really good. This is some of the storyboard or the draft art for the S3 animation of ML Corinne. Others were saying that this is like a scene in Bleach. I don't watch Bleach enough, so I don't know much about that, but looks kind of interesting. Curious if she's gonna be a support hero though. Like based on the way the animation is played, it looks like she might be a support hero and not a pure damage dealer. Because I feel like Epic 7's done a pretty good job of, like, even if it has like a showcase of these like swords and stuff, usually ends off with the characters doing some kind of attack, right? So I think like, no, I might be wrong, but speculation is open here. I think this is gonna be like a non-attack skill, some kind of support skill for your whole team, probably into an extra turn, knowing Epic 7. That's a joke. This is now 100% MLK-Ron. Now we've speculated MLK-Ron for a really long time. Let me actually put this into the full screen because I realize that I'm just cutting off so much. Let me go back a bit so we see everything here. I'm just cutting off so much of this screen I was on, so apologies for that. Actually, let's take a look at Rowana again. I mean, you can come and look at the video yourself as well, but I do think that as I'm talking about it, I should keep it full screen here. Just let it play a bit. Let's see here. Yeah, that's Corinne's slice for sure, but yeah, I don't know. Probably, or this is a support skill, but she is a damage dealer. So her S3, my speculation is that it's a support skill. Maybe like Zahak, right? Like how Zahak plays, where it's S2, S3 is the damage skill, but it's like, we've seen this before, like the S3 could be a support into an S2, which is damage. So it could be some kind of attack buff. I think it's going to be a team-wide thing though. And then K-Ron, like I said, finally it's going to be official. MLK-Ron, even with the voice, and this time there's no doubt. We've got the same arm, like gauntlet thing. The weapon of choice is slightly different. Oh wait, no, it's not. I thought it was a spear before. No, it's still a sword. I mean, there's absolutely no mistake in this time. It's MLK-Ron. Am I excited about this design though? It does remind me of like Op Sig. I don't know if we got MLK-Ron in the story already, but it's like there's a lot of the what do you call it? The design. It feels like Op Sig, like the clothes. Probably in that same realm. I'm assuming, because we already have the Zero Defect City, and I do think that, I mean, we did start this entire section with that Zero Defect City like kind of intro thing, so he's most likely part of that story. So I wouldn't doubt it if he was in the same world as Opsig. I swear they have like similar cufflinks, like even the shoulder pads, like how that jacket is very, very similar to Opsig, and even how the what do you call them, though, not tassels, but how it droops down behind the legs, that thing that's not a full skirt thing, but that thing that hangs down, it just reminds me of like Opsig, even though Opsig is not as long. Boots very similar as well. Last Rider crowd boots, sort of. But either way, it has the same voiceover as the original K-Ron. This is part of the S3 animation. I don't know about the expressions here myself. This reminds me of like Sez's S3 animation. For those of you who still remember Sez S3, there was like a glow on his right hand. And then he has like this, like a similar hair, right? And it droops down before his eyes. So I don't know, maybe there's more build up to it, but if this is his S3 animation like that, it's kind of underwhelming. So hopefully there's more to it, like there's like a lead up. Usually S3 animations now are broken down into 2 parts, so it goes like, it could go like from sprite animation to hand-drawn animation to sprite and then to hand-drawn, or it goes from like hand-drawn to sprite to hand-drawn, something along those lines. Generally for like really high-end heroes, that's what happens. That's why ML Leica's S3 animation looks pretty bland compared to some other ones. So hopefully that's not it. It's not just that. This character though, I'm curious of who she is. This is a very, very quick preview. Might not be an ML, but color scheme wise, it still tells me that it might be an ML. Could this be Light ML Akates? The eyes feel similar, but outside of that, I don't know. I mean, she's probably some kind of priestess though, so maybe some kind of support healer. I don't know though. It's a bit, maybe too much speculation. Would they preview 2 ML4s? Not quite sure. And then we got Hand Guy skin, which is kind of cool. It reminds me of like C. Lilius's like uniform, or even Remnant Violet. So probably again for those lore fanatics, probably same timeline. You guys most likely would say, yeah, that's probably it. So it looks like the same like time era style. So he probably fits in that story a bit more. He's all scarred up too, so yeah, probably like that from that world. Yeah. In terms of his design, I think he looks good. I think he looks better than his current. So in terms of this skin, I think it's definitely a plus for me compared to his original. Whereas there's always some that I'm always kind of like half on. This one's actually pretty good. So, okay, so this is a preview, seemingly, of the next episode. It does look like a part of the map that we weren't, like, used to. So down here was, like, episode 4, right? So more Asia, and then now we go over to the top here. Even though that the setting doesn't seem to be like pirates, people are saying that these look like pirates. And basically, just like the outfit and even the gun that the girl has, the swords and stuff like that, so some kind of maybe pirate themed, but the landscape didn't seem to be so like piratey. I don't even know if that's the word. This seems to be like hopefully the end boss, but he does remind me too much of Strays. If you guys remember Strays' original concept designs during episode 2, so during episode 2, Epic 7 Smilegate released a stove post, an art director basically talking through their designs and like what's upcoming. So this was before they did these kind of montage videos, but it was like a full-on breakdown with like concept designs of what Luluka could look like. There was like 7 different designs, and then Strays had like 4 or 5, and then one of his like earlier versions looked like this ish. So he does remind me a bit too much like Strays, but you know, hoping that he is the last boss, because he does have that last boss vibe. So potentially, I don't know if they would preview it this early though, to be honest, like preview episode 5's the last boss this early. So maybe he's just a regular hero, but he does have that Strays vibe, right? I could totally imagine it, but maybe too similar. And then this, coming right after this so-called, you know, episode 5 Strays boss, is someone that reminds me of like episode 2, like Lilibet, who's a companion to Strays. And then she seems to, based on her voice line, she seems to be evil, someone who is working on the dark side. So it's like perhaps that was the last boss, and this is gonna be his like partner in crime, you know. I'm not super excited about this girl. Like in terms of design from everyone so far, I feel like she has like the bat wings here we see in this. So this is gonna be part of the sprite animation. This is what I was talking about with the Kron animation. So she goes from sprite animation to transition into a hand-drawn animation, and then it's still hand-drawn, it's still hand-drawn. You see how much longer this is, and then it goes back to sprite animation. So it's like compared to Kairon, hopefully there's more to Kairon's, that's for sure. Hopefully they don't just like randomly, it's like, oh, because his time is up, let's just quickly get him, get his S3 animation published and then let's just release him. Hopefully that's not the case. But in terms of like the character design, her like visual design, although we don't see too much details, I guess, I am not very interested in waifus like this. I think she's still considered a lolly, so yeah, anyways, you guys know my style. This is, I think this got people talking. It's clearly Luluka. This is gonna be summer, probably gonna be the summer Luluka, like the standalone hero. I don't know if it makes sense to have her as a skin. It does have a special S3 animation, and we'd have to notice that hamster, okay? That hamster on her shoulder there, that hamster previewed, has Violet's hair. I thought that was pretty nice. I was like, what is he doing with that hair? But it's like, oh wait, that hair is Violet's hair. So like there's some tie-in in it. I think it's pretty cute. Nice bum. Oh, okay. So before I finish off with the Luluka thoughts here. Oops. Sorry. I'm trying to go back. Okay. Yeah. So like okay. I will say that I'm kind of looking forward to her. Hopefully this summer though, Summer Break Charlotte gets like a slight buff. I know she was used even after her release, like, but she wasn't like meta. I guess like she's usable in expos and stuff, but okay, so this character is who I want to really talk about. Okay, this one I have no clue who it is. It's neither an ML, nor can I see that it is, or maybe it is an ML, but I can't see, like I can't imagine who this is, right? And when I showed my Discord mods, I'm like, I'm most curious of who this is, and they're like, both of them were like, yes, I'm sure you would. But I'm like, no, that's not my point. My point is that the very fact is that, here, let me play it a bit more. I'm not interested in because what you guys are thinking, okay? Okay, so this is like Luluka, this is the end, right? So why I'm asking is because like we have basically sandwich content, right? So she is in the middle between the two pieces of Luluka's kind of opening. So I would generally say that this is most likely gonna be themed, like I'm assuming summer, but at the same time there's snowflakes in the background, and then she does look kind of icy, okay? But I'm just thinking, I'm like, with the recent like drama that Epic 7 had to go through in terms of like nerfing like Arya's bust, and then also pre-nerfing Sylvan Sage Vivian's bust, I'm like, wouldn't this just run into the exact same issue? Like, arguably speaking, she's showing more skin. So I'm thinking, okay, the only excuse you can get away with is like, oh no guys, this is not showing a lot of skin, this is just swimwear. So that makes me think, okay, then is this a summer hero? Or is the summer story theme gonna be about, like, you know, to use the term lightly, hell freezing over or something? And then it's part of the story, instead of like another cook-off, it's gonna be like, how do we get Summer back to heat or something? I don't know, but you can see like all the traces on her body of like some kind of ice princess, something to do with ice, right? So the snowflake motif in the background, but also the sword itself, it looks like very crystal, but it's more than crystal, it's like it's from ice, right? So those are just the things. I mean, if you guys know who she is, let me know. But my speculation is that probably going to be released during the summer with Luluka, or near with Luluka. Probably has to do with the story. I just don't see Epic 7 getting away with someone barely wearing any clothes with a bust that size and not saying that, hey guys, don't worry about it, it's summer, it's cool, yo. Alright, the cool is not, pun not intended. Okay, and then this is the last portion, is the Luluka S3 animation. Feels kind of quirky, but I mean, I guess it's no different from like Holiday You Fiends in a way, and Summer Break Charlotte's. Summer Break Charlotte's probably a bit better, to be honest. This is why I'm hoping that Summer Break Charlotte would be, I mean, the very fact is that at least Summer Break Charlotte is riding on a dolphin, and like hitting you with fish. It feels like Luluka like literally just driving like kamikazing the car into enemies feels kind of like too funny. Maybe she's not a damage dealer, just a support hero again. You know, I don't know. I feel it's kind of like weird, but the hamster is the best part about the skin in my opinion. It's the most interesting touch in my opinion. Anyways, so that's it for this epilogue video. I got a lot of characters coming up, which gives me more passion to like want to just keep farming and grinding and getting gear, right? Because now, like in my head, like okay, I want Kayron, I want Rowana. If the Corinne is good, it would be interesting, but hopefully I don't need to spend too many mystics on her. The Ice Girl is who I'm most interested in, just because she's got me curious, right? Have you guys ever had that like girl in high school? Whereas like because she's mysterious, it makes you more attracted to her. Now of course if she looked really good and she had a really good body, that'd be great too, but it's more of like, you know, there's always that mystery element to it, that gives you that like, it's kind of like Christmas present, right? The mystery element makes you more excited about it. So I'm like everyone else, we've kind of like deduced, maybe that Akates one that I said it was Akates, we don't know who that is, but everyone else we kind of know who it is. So this one is the one that has me most excited. Anyways, that's my thoughts and my commentary on this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if I missed anything, so I'll definitely be reading it, because you guys know I do read all the comments. But do appreciate you guys watching this. I'm going to end this here for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.